Hi there, welcome back to Sipping Slowly. I'm Jeanette from Whisky of the Week.
And I am Rulia, blogger babe behind Boozy Foodie.
This week we are talking about a very beautiful blended malt whiskey, the Shackleton blended malt whiskey. So a couple of weeks ago, me and Rulia were fortunate to be invited to a soft launch of the Shackleton blended malt whiskey. The launch was at Kathy's
Palace? Yeah.
Oh, it's a beautiful venue. And the evening was about exploring Shackleton, the man who not only his portion on the first attempt he made on summiting or reaching the South Pole, but his whole plan afterwards and his life afterwards. And it was a wonderful, wonderful evening.
Yeah, it was fantastic. I mean, the entire brand is about adventure and exploring. And Shackleton, who's the whiskey is named after, I mean, he's such an amazing man. I mean, he just set his mind on something, and
he just did.
It's fantastic. It's a lovely story.
And it's an amazing story of endurance. These men left London 1913 odd. Imagine the equipment they had. This was leather and shoes with nails through them, and they lived on the ice because the ship got stuck in the ice floe on the way to Antarctica, and these men had to survive on the ice for over a year.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
I cannot imagine it. And the story was very wonderfully narrated by Rob Kasky.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah.
No pictures, no flashy music, no PowerPoint presentations. He stood there in the front and he took you on this journey that Shackleton and his men had of getting to just Antarctica and what happened with him.
No, it's amazing storyteller. Amazing.
I've written quite extensively about the history in a blog post. I'll put the link below.
Oh, cool.
Let's not talk about the story of endurance. However, let's taste this whiskey. It's a blended malt whiskey. I love the label. I love the blue on this.
It is lovely.
It's a blended malt whiskey, which means it's a blend of malt whiskies. Mainly, I think Highland and Speyside malt whiskies. It was sort of in the character of the whiskey that Shackleton liked. There's an amazing story where they discovered some whiskey bottles under the ice. They gave it back to the original company and they tried to recreate it. And they brought out a limited edition. It's sold out, you can't get it anymore. But they actually decided to bring out a more affordable, a more accessible version of it, where they took what the essence of the whiskey that Shackleton liked, and I think Richard Patterson then developed this whiskey around that characteristics.
It's lovely, yeah.
And it is a beautiful, it's a beautiful whiskey that is now being released in South Africa. It's affordable. I think it retails for about 500 rand, but it is beautiful.
Oh yes, fond memories.
We tasted it that evening, and it is such a. And I think what I liked about it, it's fruity.
Yeah, I mean, even when we tasted it, it wasn't, funny cocktails or mixes or whatever. It was just the whiskey on ice, these big blocks of ice, and I mean, you really got a feel of, the whiskey itself.
There's hints of smoke. I didn't put water, no?
I know.
You saw?
Yeah.
It actually works very well on ice.
Yeah.
Whiskey generally, you need something big and bold if you want to add ice to it. And this was just a lovely whiskey. I like the fruity notes with a faint hints of smoke.
This is really lovely.
Bits of pepper, a bit of lemon.
But very subtle, very well balanced.
It's remarkably drinkable. And what I think it's going to pair well with, because of all the fruity notes.
Yeah.
There's pineapple, there's mango, there's a tropical note there somewhere. Dried fruit.
Oh, I noticed this.
I got us some dried fruit to pair with this whiskey.
Oh, this is quite cool. Is this pineapple?
I think so. Because I think the fruity notes and the whiskey is going to work nicely together.
Oh, cool.
It's nice.
This is really nice.
It makes the spiciness a bit softer. It just
It
like a
brings out the
drinkable
fruit.
fruit salad. You're drinking fruit salad. It's healthy. You're drinking fruit salad.
Yes, 5 a day. Yes, okay. Let me try the apple. This is quite cool.
It's nice. And it's a
Lovely
nice
idea.
It's a nice snacky to eat while you're having something to drink. And this is actually one of the whiskies that is going to be available for tasting at Whisky Life.
Oh, that's great news. Seriously. Okay.
Whisky
cool.
Life, Whisky and Spirits Life in Sandton is coming up.
2 weeks' time?
In 2 weeks' time, the 31st of October to the 2nd of November. And there's some really, really interesting, I've seen the list of whiskies that's going to be available.
Oh, okay, cool.
Let me quickly read them for you. So there is going to be the normal, the Hay Club, Johnny Walker, your Bushmills, your Glenmorangie, Ardbeg, Dalmore. The Shackleton will be available.
Ardbeg, sorry. I'm a little bit biased, yes.
The Shackleton will be available, and it's a really wonderful opportunity to go and taste the Shackleton.
Okay.
There's-
But what I heard this year is that they're adding some extra spirits. It's not just
Yes,
whiskey
no.
anymore. They're expanding a little bit, which I think is lovely.
They have expanded. Before we expand, Paul John from India.
Oh, yeah. Sorry,
Lovely.
my attention span.
Lovely, lovely whiskey. Boerplaas, we've chatted about Boerplaas. The Boerplaas whiskey is going to be there.
Okay, okay.
Something that's new, the Kamiki. Kamiki is cedar aged Japanese,
Oh, wow.
which is
That
very
sounds very interesting.
different. The Quiet Man from Ireland. Ireland. Then there's a distillery. It's a new distillery. It's just finished being built, I think, a year or so ago, called the Isle of Rasay.
Okay.
It's Scottish.
Yeah.
I had to go look on a map. It is a small little island off the coast of the Isle of Skye. Isle of Skye is where Talisker is. So it's somewhere at the top there. And the whiskey has only been aging for a couple of years now, so I don't think it's technically whiskey yet. But they're bringing a blend, which they are calling While We Wait.
Isn't that lovely?
I cannot
Oh my
wait
goodness, I love that.
to go and meet the people
Yeah.
and to go and taste while we wait. And I think it's a blend. I think they bought whiskey from different other distilleries and blended it together to have some sort of offering while they wait for their whiskey
I
to
think it's
mature.
just fascinating that in today's age there's still new whiskey, especially whiskey distilleries popping up. This is very exciting.
And of course, there's going to be bourbons. I think the Buffalo Trace will be there. And 1 or 2 other bourbons, which is going to be great. But yes, there is gin. There is the Gin Factory, Six Dogs, Ginologist, Finery, Sugarbird. I think what's really interesting is 1128.
Yes.
It's a local one made, I think, in Mpumalanga or
Okay,
in Limpopo. Gin.
Okay.
There is rum. There is rum. Bar Whistler rum. I think I'm quite interested to go and try the Whistler rum.
Oh, I see New Grove there.
The New Grove.
New Grove is from Mauritius, and it's lovely.
I'm gonna try that as well. There's 1 or 2 vodkas.
Okay.
There's some chocolate. There's some biltong.
Oh, that sounds exciting. I'm excited now.
It is one of
That's
my
lovely.
It is one of my favorite events of the year, and I think what I like about now that they've added the rum and the gin, it means there's something for everyone.
No, it's more not accessible. More people, will be able to pop in and find something that they really like.
I think it speaks to a broader
Audience.
and a broader palate.
Yeah.
So try some whiskey, try some gin, try some rum.
Oh, I'm excited about the rum.
Yes. So it's going to be excellent. The 31st to the 2nd of November.
It's at the convention centre?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Sandton. We will hopefully see you there.
Yes.
That is all that we have for you this episode of Sipping Slowly.
Follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook and see what else we get up to. And remember to subscribe and comment.
Below. We'll leave the links of the whiskey that we chatted about.
Yes.
And then you can go read about the really, really interesting history of Shackleton and the great experience on the ice that they had.
It's really, really cool. Pardon the pun.
With ice cold. Have a great week and we'll see you again next week.